A couple nights ago, Joe Biden tweeted in an apparent response to Trump, who obviously has expressed his desire to open things up again sooner rather than later, said that, quote, "No one is expendable and no life is worth losing, to add one more point to the Dow." Now, the first problem with these comments is that they are manifestly absurd. Obviously, it would not be worth it to collapse the economy to save one life. Consigning millions to destitution to save one person would not be a fair trade. And while it is true that nobody is expendable as an individual, it's not true that no life is worth losing in order to salvage the economy. Biden, of course, is trying to turn the economic concerns of millions of Americans into a quibble over points on the stock market index, but he knows better. He well knows, just like everybody else who's pulling this trick of saying, if you're concerned about the economy, you're putting money over people, all you care about is your portfolio and so on. They all know better. What's at stake here is not merely the stock market, but the livelihoods of countless Americans. And we'll talk about this in the news portion of the show, the headline segment. But there were over 3 million jobless claims last week, and that's only the beginning of it. That only scratches the surface of how bad things are. 3 million. Now, that's not about points on the Dow, okay? Those are people. Those are people's livelihoods. So when we talk about the jobless problem, we're talking about a problem for people, a serious problem, not a small problem. This isn't something superficial. So what he's really arguing, Biden that is that it cannot be worth it for any individual life to be lost in order to preserve the livelihoods of many millions. And that's simply ridiculous. As we've talked about, I talked about on the show yesterday, we all believe that 35,000 dead on our roadways every year is a price worth paying so that we can drive around and get from point A to point B quicker. That is a bargain. That's a calculation, a deal that we've all made. We've all signed on to it. If you haven't signed on to it, then you would be out there advocating for the abolition of all automobiles. But you're not advocating that. And so what you're saying is, okay, 35,000 people, 30 to 35,000 people are going to die in America on the roadways every year that we allow people to drive. But I don't like it. I'm sad about the people who die, but I'm okay with that deal so that I can get to the grocery store faster. That's the calculation you're making. So the idea that even one dead person is not worth it to preserve the entire economy, when we think that 35,000 dead people a year are worth it just to preserve our ability to drive, is nonsensical. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative media outlets in the entire country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content.